It's really been ages since I've done a video, and for very good reason. In fact, for 5 months I haven't been able to train because just one of those freak things that happened. I was actually trying to lift some boxes and I was at a strange angle, and I lost my balance as I pushed up, and this whole elbow just clicked and I just heard everything crack inside there, and all the ligaments, tendons, everything torn, and that's it, no training, and there's just nothing I could do about it. So, you know, I realized that even with top sportsmen, they get on the field and they pull hamstrings. These things happen. So, you know, how did I overcome the whole lot? Well, first of all, give it complete rest. And that's exactly what I did. I'd ice it whenever I could. It's come back, it's feeling good. Still slightly tender, but it's good. So I've had a long layoff, and this will probably help a lot of people who have never trained before or have suffered similar and are now trying to come back into training. So this video is going to show you how to do upper body, the whole upper body in one session. I don't normally train like this, but initially, just to get the muscles conditioned again, that's exactly how I've trained. So you'll see me going through each one. I'm just going to do 1 or 2 repetitions of each exercise that I do, but I'll explain them to you, and then hopefully you can use them and get some good results. Just remember that when you train, you're training for yourself. So you'll notice I'm training very light because the muscles aren't used to it. And if I go heavy, I'm going to be so stiff and probably do more damage to myself. So I'm not here to impress anybody, and when you go to the gym, don't worry about who's in the gym. You don't need to impress anybody. Impress yourself and do it correctly for you. So the first exercise that I always do when I start training is chest. So this is an upper body workout, and I'm going to do chest. So as you can see, it's light weights. And I've got a nice new bench for my 60th birthday, which I'm really chuffed about. So here we take the weights. Okay, nice, up in the air. Okay, now what I'm doing is, because it's light, I can actually take a little bit longer with it and train really nice and slow. So I come down slowly. It's not a quick one. Hold it at the bottom just for about 2, and then back up again. Okay, nice and slowly down. Hold it for a little bit and back up again. Just remember, I've mentioned it before in other videos, don't do this, you know, where you're bouncing it off. Okay, people try and bounce it off. Don't do that. You'll see I've got my safeties there, so if it is too heavy and I'm struggling, it can go down onto the safety. So it's down, hold for a fraction, back up again. And I kind of try and use a slight explosive movement going up. I don't go up too quickly, but I wanted to use a bit of power going up. Coming down, nice and slow, hold it for a few seconds, and then up again. Hold it at the top as well. If you can, flex a little bit, or contract your muscles, whatever you want to call it. So that's the chest exercise. Now normally, I would do 5 to 6 sets of about 10 to 12 reps. And that's what I've been doing. And I promise you, I've been really stiff afterwards. It's eased now, it's getting a lot better. And of course, always have a stopwatch. So between each set, I have a full minute rest. And then I go on to the next. Now when I'm finished my chest, which is just 5 or 6 sets, I then give myself 2 minutes rest. Then I go on to the next exercise. And the next exercise I'm going to do is shoulders. And shoulders, there's nothing better than bench presses. Well, first of all, bench presses because they're compound exercises, and so is a shoulder press, a compound exercise, which means that you use more than one muscle. They are fantastic for giving growth hormones. So it actually causes your body to grow better. That's why they're such good exercises. So with shoulders, again, it's not very heavy. I'm using dumbbells. You can use straight bar, and it's, you know, your shoulder press is coming down and pushing it straight up again. So these are dumbbells, up, into position. You'll see that I've got them probably sort of like level with my ears, just slightly lower than my ears. Not back, not forward, just nice and comfortable. Okay. My wife's showing me my stomach sticking out, but I'll tell you what, I've gained so much weight. It's just one of those things, and I'm working it off. Okay, so from there, and it's straight up again, I use a similar movement to the bench press. So it's up, and then coming down nice and slowly so that I'm holding it. Hold it at the bottom a little bit. Up. Come down. Okay? Hold it for a sec. And make sure you're feeling the deltoids doing the push. Don't let everything else do the push. You're wanting deltoids to do the push. Up. down, hold it for a second, up, nice, controlled down, okay? And that's a shoulder press. Now, I also enjoy doing it with a straight bar. If you come down with a straight bar, I like to bring it down to just about to chest level, okay, and push it back up. Now, there's a lot of controversy with people saying, don't work behind your head, don't do this, don't do that. Look, it's a recognized exercise. If you feel unsafe doing it, don't do it. But if you do come behind the head, come to ear level. Don't put your shoulders under too much strain. I've had an operation here on this shoulder from a rugby injury many, many years ago. And now as you get older, there's bits of arthritis. So I train, sometimes behind the head is more comfortable for me than in front. I train according to what I feel. If I feel that it's a bit tender, I try and move, adjust the angle of the weights so that there's no strain on the joints. And that's what it's about. It's about caring for you. Okay, so that's a shoulder exercise. And then I go on and I like to do back. Okay, now normally when I'm doing shoulders, just as something else that I like to do, I often superset my shoulder presses. So I'll do superset, I'll do the shoulder presses. As soon as I put down the weights, I go over and I use these. These are great. Okay, and I do shrugs. Okay, so it's taking them, and I know it's not, this is more for back, but it's up. Okay, in a shrug position, down. And when I go up, because this isn't particularly heavy, but reasonably heavy, it's up at the top and I'll hold it for 1, 2, 3, let it down. 1, 2, 3, let it down. Again, I've shown before, don't rotate the shoulders, okay? You can cause damage. Rather just let the traps do the pull. Up to the top, hold it. And as I say, I'll just stick these down here. I like to superset when I'm doing shoulder presses. I'll go up and do traps as well. So I work the top, and I'm working deltoids and my traps here. Okay, so again, I like to do 5 or 6 sets, 10 to 12 reps, but for 3 or 4 of the 5 or 6 sets that I'm doing, I will superset, which means that as I put the weights down for shoulders, I go straight up, pick up these weights here, and I'll do shrugs, and I'll do 12 repetitions of shrugs as well. But again, holding it at the top for the count of about 3, so that it really gets a good burn and you really work hard with your traps. Then of course now coming to shoulders, and again, not too heavy. And what you want to do is not tend to do what I see some people doing in the gyms, is this sort of motion where they're leaning right back like that. Okay, I like to lean slightly back. And again, the grip that you use, now I've read a lot of information about this and I've tried different things for myself. And what they say is that, in actual fact, the width doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Now there'll be some people who say, of course it makes a huge difference. Train according to what's the most comfortable for you. So sometimes I like to do narrow grip and pull down, and sometimes I like to do a fairly wide grip. But the most comfortable for me for elbow, right now, and for shoulders and that for me, slightly back, that grip there, and just a straight pull down. And again, it's quite a slow movement, so I'll put it down, okay, and I'll make sure that it's my lats that's doing the pull. Hold it for a second, let it up nice and controlled, okay, down, hold it for 1, 2, let it up nice and slow. 1, 2, okay, and I try and flex out the lats. So stick them out and then let the lats pull it down. Hold it, 1, 2, let it up again. 1, 2, let it up again. Okay, and again with that would be 5 to 6 sets, around about 10 to 12 reps. Minute rest between each set, 2-minute rest when I move on to the next exercise. So that means that I've done chest now, I've done shoulders, I've now finished, I did a bit of traps, and I've done back, and I'm perfectly happy. That's a good part for most of the upper body. Now I'm going to work arms. And I go on and I do triceps. Now there are umpteen exercises you can do for triceps. I love tricep pushdowns, and that's what I always end up doing. So for me, that works best. So let's just remove a bit of this weight here. Again, I'm not interested in trying to impress anybody with how much I can lift. I'm more concerned about conditioning the muscles and helping the muscles to get used to lifting weights again. So it's nice and easy. Nice comfortable position. And again, here you'll see a lot of people will tend to do this type of thing to do it. You'll find them swinging their body to do it. Okay, tricep is this muscle here. And for the tricep, I want only this muscle to do the work for me now. So when I do it, I get into a nice comfortable position, get the weight down to there, to where I want it. I get a nice decent stance. A lot of people, we wouldn't use the bench there. I'm quite comfortable like this, so I do it this way, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest. And push the weight down with the tricep. Hold it, flex it a little bit at the bottom, come up, down. Okay, you can see a nice comfortable movement. I'm not trying to rush to get it done. I'm taking it nice and easy. And again, 5 to 6 sets with a minute's rest between each set. And nice, really get them working. They pump up nicely. And you know the funny thing about it, I mean, that's not very heavy. But just by doing the exercise, you're going to be stiff anyway. Just by the movement that you're doing, you're going to be stiff. Now the last one that I'll finish off with then for upper body is biceps. And again, there is numerous ways that you can train biceps. I use this because this is the most comfortable for me. Just get these dumbbells off the road here. Okay. Now, the Americans will call it an EZ bar. The English, where I live, call it an EZ bar. You can call it whatever you like, but it looks like a big W. And it's just comfortable for me because the way you hold it, okay, and you'll see, I find with a straight bar, I'm pushed very much that way, and I tend to feel like I want to get tennis elbow. So I like a bar like this. If you don't have this, dumbbells does a fantastic job, and you can adjust the angle so that it's the most comfortable, because you don't want to put extra stresses on joints and things. What you're wanting to do is you're wanting to work the bicep muscle. So don't put extra strains on it and everything. Make it comfortable. I mean, that's what training's about. It's about being comfortable when you train. So some people will say, don't let it go all the way down. You need to keep tension on it. I do what is most comfortable for me. If I have to start it from nothing, it means I've got to put quite a bit of extra effort in. So sometimes I like to be there in that position when I finish the rep. Sometimes I like to be in that position. Do what's the most comfortable for you. You know, when it comes to weightlifting, everybody suddenly becomes an expert. They all know what you should be doing. You should do what you're most comfortable with. So when I lift up to the top. I'll try and contract slightly or flex a little bit at the top. Let it down. Nice and slow, controlled. And you can see it's just the bicep. Get away from trying this, because some guys, you know, the weight's too heavy, and then you see this kind of movement. Okay, they're all trying to show that they can lift as much as possible. Remember that bodybuilding is about changing the shape of your body, okay? And it takes time. Everybody wants muscles fast. Fast in bodybuilding is months and even years. Fast is not weeks and definitely not days. So when you see adverts of people saying, get a six-pack in 10 days and get, you know, 6 weeks to have massive shoulders, that's a lot of rubbish. Take your time. You've got years and years to train. Make sure that you're training for yourself. Don't worry what other people say. I have so many people telling me, you should develop this muscle more, you should do that. No, they should develop that muscle more. I'm happy with what I've got. I'm 60, I'm comfortable, and I feel fantastic about who I am as a person. That's more important than anything else. I train for me, I enjoy my training, and I share my ideas with you. I'm not saying that what I've done today is the perfect and the best way to train, but what I can tell you is it works for me, and that's the most important. And so I hope that I've given you some ideas. Hopefully you can use these and go and get some great bodybuilding tips from others. Use them and get a good looking body. You know, we've got one shell. It has to last us for the whole of our life. Look after it, respect it, treat it with care. I'm glad I'm back, and there will be a lot more videos. And thank you so much for all the support that you've given me. Even when I wasn't making videos, I saw people still commenting, and I was still able to interact and share a lot of good times with you all. Thank you so much. See you again soon.